Hi, do you already use a professional password manager? If you are still using the default browser password manager, or maybe you don't use a password system at all and you just write everything down in a notebook, then you should pay close attention, because it's very, very important that you keep your online identity and security private and secure. My name is Olaf, and today I'm going to show you all about 1Password password manager. So why did I need this? As said, I use a lot of different online tools, and together with all the accounts that I have for banking, for e-commerce, for, well, you name it, I had a lot of passwords that were more or less the same. And I think 80% were actually the same, and the other ones were just a variation of the first one, because I wanted to keep them safe and secure and still be able to remember them. Although I use the default Chrome built-in password manager, I still thought and experienced that it would be handy sometimes to also know them somewhat in your head, because if for some reason the Chrome password manager screws up, then you still have an idea what it should be. Or maybe you are one of those people that writes all his passwords in a notebook or in your telephone or somewhere, or you email them to yourself, or I don't know. This is very, very, very dangerous, of course, because A, it's not safe and secure, and B, it will take you and cost you a lot of time to come up with new passwords, to figure out where your old password was. And I actually know of people that had one of those books and the book disappeared and they were totally lost. Well, in my case, it started with problems with Microsoft 365 and Skype, because those you have to change a lot. And in my case, I had an old email address tied to my Microsoft account, and for some reason it wasn't possible, or I couldn't figure out how to do it, and they couldn't figure out themselves as well how to change this into my new email. So in that case, I had to change the password, but I got confirmation on an email that doesn't exist anymore, and I got into a lot of problems. And then I thought, okay, maybe I should change to another more professional password manager to prevent this stuff from happening. And one of the most important reasons is that Chrome is not a safe password manager. Not only Chrome, the same goes for all the other default browser password managers. It has not been built for this purpose. It's a good service, and well, it's good until it isn't good anymore, if you know what I mean. And if you have one breach or one problem with your passwords only once a year, you can imagine how much time and energy and frustration that would cost to fix it again. So what are the benefits? Well, you only have to remember one strong password ever again. So all the other passwords are behind this one big password that you can remember. And this is a very strong feature. Now, on all my devices, I can log in the normal way with my fingerprint or with the strong password, or, well, whatever, and all my other passwords and identity data will be filled out immediately and automatically. It's extremely secure because this tool has been built to be secure, safe, and extremely powerful for the biggest companies on earth. Speaking of which, IBM uses it, Dropbox, GitLab, New York Times, and well, too much people to mention, too many organizations that use this, which means this has been tried and tested in real life situations, well, for years now. You get a document vault in which you can store all your classified documents, and you only can access them by using your strong password, of course. If you want, you can do secure vault sharing, so you can share those vaults with people that you trust and who might use it, or may use it. There is an emergency kit on paper, so you can store one extra, or well, multiple actually if you want, in your house or with your parents or wherever. So if for some reason your strong password gets lost, or you don't remember it anymore, and you can't get in all of your accounts, obviously, then you can use this to still get access. You get real-time security breach alerts, so if something happens, you will be notified immediately. You can store unlimited number of passwords in the system, and it works, as I said earlier, on all devices, browsers, and operating systems. There are plugins for, there are add-ons, they have all kinds of options, so whatever device you're using, it is being tackled. And it syncs your data seamlessly between all those devices. So that's very easy, of course. I mean, it's not a step up from Chrome, because if you use Chrome on all your devices, that's the same, but it works just as seamless. It works with fingerprints, and if you are switching from Chrome to 1Password, it will import all your passwords in just a couple of seconds. So all those old passwords are into the new system within minutes altogether. And it's very cheap. It's less than $40 per year. And if you compare this to, well, maybe one breach per year, or one time that you have to search for your passwords, or you can't get in because you lost them, or Chrome messed up, or whatever happened, you couldn't remember your Chrome strong password to unlock all your data, or it hasn't been synced, or, well, there are a lot of things that go wrong and can go wrong. Even if it's just 1 hour of your time per year that you would lose on this, it would already pay for itself, being less than $40. And there's a free trial. I can highly recommend this. I started doing this myself because I thought, okay, I was convinced that it wasn't the safest and securest way storing your passwords in Chrome, but I haven't had the first-hand experience with 1Password yet. So I thought to myself, okay, let's do this free trial, keep them in both systems and see what happens. But even after, I think it was after a couple of days, I started to switching to 1Password completely and telling Chrome not to remember my passwords anymore, because I saw the big advantages. I saw the way the system has been built. It's safe, it's secure, it's robust, it's easy to use. So I can recommend it highly. So when I say Chrome or other built-in default password managers in browsers are not safe and secure enough, what do I mean? Well, have a look at this. I just looked up a couple of blogs and vlogs, and there are dozens of them on the internet to be found. The first one is saying, okay, of course you have inbuilt password managers, and they are just okay-ish, because they are not built to do this. Another one says your passwords are protected to an extent. So even there, they are saying, okay, listen, it works. It's obviously better than not having a system in place at all, but still you should have a dedicated password manager. Another one, why do you need a password manager? Well, I just explained why, and here they are just backing up my story as well. And here they say, okay, we recommend using a password manager like 1Password, LastPass, or Bitwarden. Obviously, there are much more than just 1Password, but I can really, from my own experience, recommend 1Password. So, what can we use it for? Well, you can use it obviously for every password you will ever need. It will suggest strong passwords and it will store them immediately. You can unlock them if you want. You can edit all your login credentials without any problems whatsoever. So it's a very user-friendly system to work with and work in. All your passwords are stored in your personal vault. Not only logins, but also passports, credit cards, etc. You can use it on all devices, and you can use it as well to autofill everything. And I work sometimes in 2-3 different languages, so the forms are not always the same, and the names of the forms are not always the same. I mean the fields that you can enter. And in 1Password you can just use the name of the field and then add your personal data in it. So it will autofill whatever you need, which is also a big time saver. Of course, in the beginning you have to enter the data, maybe again, because you were used to doing this in Chrome. But if you do it in 1Password, it's safe, it's secure, and it is a better autofill system than Chrome itself. This is an example. So you have different vaults, your personal vault, but you can have a lot of vaults if you want, for your work, for your organization, for your team. And as said, you can have a lot of different stuff in it, which can be very handy. And as said, you can edit it on the fly. You can suggest a new password if you want, and then it will save it as a new password, and you're done. And in my case, as said, I always use it for autofill purposes because I don't like to spend my time on filling out forms. So in this case, I have the regular stuff that 1Password has already filled out, like first name, last name, etc., etc. And I also have a couple of Dutch ones. So this is last name in Dutch and first name and my address. So this is very handy. You can add as much fields as you want, and 1Password will autofill them if appropriate. What are people saying about it? Well, these big organizations, these blue chip corporations, they are very happy with 1Password. And even Dropbox and GitLab, who are developers and develop systems, platforms themselves, they know what they're talking about. So it's not for nothing that they chose 1Password over the other ones. And if you see the reviews, 4.6 out of over 3,000 reviews, 9.1, 83 votes. It's just a very robust, user-friendly, easy to use, great system, in my opinion. So let's have a look at it. Well, here you go. My session ended after 10 minutes of inactivity. This is what you can use as a setting if you want. But in this case, I would have to enter my strong password. And then it's opened up. And I only have to do this in here as an extra precaution, because if you are just logged on in Chrome, then you don't have to do this again unless you want to. I mean, if I go to the settings, here they are, I can set this to automatically lock or not. And I have it at unlock. So as long as I am online and working in my tabs and working on websites, it shouldn't lock automatically. At least that's my preference. You can do this if you like. So you can say, I want to have it locked after 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 3 minutes, or whatever. And you can change all kinds of stuff here. Autofill, notifications, accounts and vaults, etc. And obviously, it will fill out your login every time you get onto a site and you need your password to be filled out. Simple as that. Actually, there's not much to it. This is what it does. This is what it is. And it just works completely great and without any glitches on every device that I have. So, for example, if I would go to this site, I can have it filled out. It fills out my password automatically with 1Password. This is the icon of 1Password, and you can see it here in the Chrome plugin as well. And I would log in, and that's it. And here you can always go from your Chrome plugin, you can go to the settings, and here I can show you all kinds of logins that are protected by 1Password. And if I want to see my vault, I can go to my personal vault and open it up. And of course, if I want, I can open up the application and go in full screen mode as well. And here you can see I have 712 logins into 1Password. Obviously, I won't go into them, at least I won't show you them any more than I'm already doing it now. So I hope you like this. and I'll see you in the next video.